At the bottom of the ocean, a brown lump inches along the coral and sands, keeping its notable lack of eyes out for potential predators. But when trouble does come a-sniffin', the slow sea cucumber has a defense mechanism that takes a heavy toll. Using an ability unique to its phylum, this ocean pickle has a pretty nasty way of staying mostly off the menu. But sometimes you just need to win a Pyrrhic victory like the sea cucumber here in life, death, and taxonomy.
Welcome back to Life, Death, and Taxonomy. It's your 30 minutes of interesting animal info, and sometimes it's your 40 to 50 minutes of interesting animal info. I'm Joe.
And I'm guilty. I think it's my fault. Too much banter. I'm Carlos.
Thank you to Cassie for the creation of our theme song. To hear more of Cassie's music, please search Cassie Michelle on YouTube.
And thank you for Johanna to the creation of this week's artwork. To check that out, you can follow us on Facebook or Twitter at LD Taxonomy, or visit us at our home on the web at ldtaxonomy.com. And thank you to our patrons for supporting the show. Jess Raspolich, Carol Raspolich, and Tristan Taylor. Thanks for supporting.
And today we're talking about the most romantic sea creature, a big brown lump. But more on that later.
You fish one up in Animal Crossing and give it to your significant other.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can have significant others in Animal Crossing, but it seems like a game where you can.
I don't think so. They're all animals. It's kind of weird.
Is it? Animals have significant others.
Yeah, but you're not an animal.
Sometimes many significant others. I know, I'm not.
No, but you're not. But also the player in Animal Crossing is like a person.
Oh, I thought you played as animals.
No.
Huh.
But it is the day after Valentine's Day, which is why it's so appropriate that we're doing a brown lump in the ocean.
We've nailed the holidays this time, I think.
Oh yeah.
Next time we're gonna do like the cutest animal we can possibly find for Halloween. Yeah.
And then in the middle of this summer we'll do the turkey or something.
Yeah, that's good. But yeah, what are we talking about? What's this brown lump you mentioned?
Well, we're talking about a brown sea cucumber. Not just a brown sea cucumber. The brown sea cucumber.
There's only one. There
isn't only one. There are several species of cucumber named brown sea cucumber. Because wouldn't you know it, more than one sea cucumber is brown.
That's nuts.
Yeah. Like, what can brown do for you? They can deliver you packages, or they
Brown
can make
University.
you hide in something brown.
Which is probably what these guys are doing. But brown sea cucumber, again, it's...
Something borrowed, something brown.
Ew. But, so yeah, it's the brown sea cucumber, but it describes a lot of things. So we're going to call it here, Scary Boy, Scary Boy, Scary Boy. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Get it?
No.
Like Larry Boy.
Oh.
Because he's a cucumber. Heh.
He is a cucumber. And it's been so long since I've seen anything with vegetable stories.
It's been minutes for me. I'm trying to get my kids to like VeggieTales so that I don't have to watch Little Baby Bum anymore.
Cocomelon.
No, that's unsettling for some reason. It's
Cocomelon?
Uncanny. Yeah.
I've heard it's also not good for you. Overstimulating, yeah.
I don't
Too many
understand,
cuts.
I don't understand the overstimulation part. Like all of the kids shows seem super colorful, loud, and overstimulating.
It has to do with cuts. Like you're seeing something new. You know, like in Blue's Clues, where like you're staring at Steve for like 45 minutes, where he's like, "Where's a clue?" That's good for kids. You don't want too many like, jarring cuts and like overstimulate. Like they're seeing something new every few seconds.
Wow, that's definitely a little baby bum. And
get rid of little baby bum. Put on Mr. Rogers.
Charlie's colorful town and all of this other, all of these nonsense things. I just want them to like VeggieTales so that I can be mildly amused for most of the day, through nostalgia. But yeah, so anyway, Scary Boy is the first one. We're also going to call it the Fickle Pickle. Uh-huh.
Nice.
And the Prolapse in Judgment.
I hate that.
I knew you would.
And who wouldn't?
But all of these things will become just so apparent when we get into the major fact. But first, how about you taxonomize as captain?
Okay. Well, they're in the kingdom you know, love, and are in kingdom Animalia.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the phylum Bacon. Because if you look at a picture of it on Wikipedia, it looks like bacon.
It looks like
I think
bacon?
That's the underside of it looks like bacon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's a nice piece of bacon.
The top side of it definitely does not look like bacon.
No, it's definitely not something I would put in my mouth at all. Although some people do.
Yeah, they do.
The phylum is Echinodermata. It's an echinoderm, like a starfish.
Like starfish, sand dollars, sea fans, the works.
The class is Holothuroideae. Holothuroideae.
Yep.
The order is Synallactidae.
Yeah.
Synallactidae.
The class Holothuroideae is that's all sea cucumbers. So everything going forward is just narrowing different kinds of sea cucumbers.
A rankless clade of sea cucumbers is Synallactidae, which is like, it sounds like when you want to like describe like a rowdy gang of youths. That rankless clade of youths.
That's how Charles Dickens would describe a rowdy gang of youths.
Yeah.
That's definitely like the Artful Dodger and his pals are a rankless clade. Although there is rank. There's I forgot what the main guy is. The adult's name was in that, but yep. It's Dickensian for sure.
Yeah, the family is Stichopodidae.
I imagine that's a hard CH.
Stichopodidae?
Yeah.
A family of sea cucumbers in
sticky feet.
Its own order. Who would have thought? The genus is Isostichopus.
Mm-hmm.
There's a joke in there somewhere. And the species is Fuscus. Isostichopus fuscus. Wow. That's a fun one.
That is a fun one. It's
dangerous.
It's fun zone at the nomenclature park. Because since we're in the business of naming things, it's time for my favorite part of the show. Cue the music. Critter groups.
Oh, full disclosure, I've been forgetting to cue the music since we've switched over to the video.
I think this is the first time I've said cue the music.
Yeah.
Since we switched to video. So,
but maybe now, since you've said it, when I'm listening to the recording, I'll remember it.
This time the music is mandatory, I guess. Didn't mean to add more editing work in there. I didn't even know you added the music in until I started listening to the back episodes. I was like, he's putting music in for my part of the show. And it sounds like Quiplash.
Yeah. They don't know that I'm the one that edits it. When I'm editing, I am a like an all-knowing narrator.
You're the
completely objective
narrator.
Yes.
Sure. Anyway, Critter groups. Did I do that already? Yeah, I did. The part of the show where I ask you, Joe, a question, and that question is the same every time. What is the name of a group of this animal? Or what is the term of entry? Or what is the collective noun? It's all the same. If you saw a group of sea cucumbers chilling out, chill as cucumbers, would you say that's A, a patting of cucumbers, B, a plod of cucumbers, C, a pickle of cucumbers, or D, a barrel of cucumbers?
I'm going to go with the plod. Final answer.
I'll give you another guess. This is one of my favorites.
Is it a pickle?
It's a pickle.
Wow. That's too good.
It is a pickle of cucumbers and not a drop of vinegar in sight. Or an actual cucumber.
That's very good.
Yeah, it works. I couldn't believe it. I thought I'd get you with peril. But just
it was enticing, that one, because they are in peril a lot because they're slow and bad at moving,
and they're just big juicy lumps of stuff.
Yes, that was my nickname in high school. It was a long nickname, to be sure.
Goodness, someone's like spending 3 hours scratching that into your locker. Big juicy lump of stuff. At least it's easy to spell.
That could be pejorative, but it could also be like a flattery. You can't. It could go either way.
No, it's got to be big juicy hunk of stuff. That's the flattery.
Yeah,
lump,
that's true.
Lump really turns it into a derogatory term for sure. No, there's nothing good about lumps. But hunks? Oh man,
that's
don't get
true.
me started.
Even in food, you don't want lumps. You want chunks.
Yeah. It's essentially the same thing, but you don't want
lumpy salsa.
You don't want lumpy anything. You want hunks and chunks.
Lumpy peanut butter.
Yeah, it doesn't market well. Doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us what this piece of bacon looks like? This lumpy bacon?
What's this? It looks like a bacon from the underside, but what does it look like from the above side? The sea cucumbers are fairly simple life forms, and they are called cumbers of Q because of their oval shape. They're generally shaped like a cucumber a lot of the time. The brown sea cucumber has a half dome shape, with the middle rising and tapering to the sides. So it's the lumpiest of the bunch. And the bunchiest of the lumps.
The hunkiest of the bunch.
Their bodies are covered in evenly spaced bumps or cones that are soft, though they look like spikes. But they are not spikes.
But that's where the term echinoderm or echinoderm comes from. Spiky skin.
Yeah, well, they're not sharp. You can touch them, pretty sure. Most of the time, they are brown, though they could be a dark greenish with yellow spikes that are not spikes. They can. I've also seen like cow-shaped modeling between a lighter color and brown. Cow-shaped. They're not like little cows patterned into it. It's like a cow's hide.
Got it. Mottled.
Male, yes, that's it. That's the word. Males and females are not sexually dimorphic until it's time for reproduction. Cucumber reproductive organs are feathery or spaghetti-like appendages that are kept inside the body and can be extended out. Isn't that horrible?
It sure is.
Guess what else is horrible? When they're ready to go, these appendages, which are gonads, are called ripe. They are ripe gonads. And definitely flush that down the toilet immediately. I don't want to see it ever in my life again.
Ripe meat off the bone.
But when they're ready, they change color. So males are white and females are orange. And that's the long and short of their sexual dimorphism.
Hey, that was I made a Lord of the Rings reference, and you made a Lord of the Rings adjacent reference. Because Sean Astin, during the filming of Lord of the Rings, created a short film called The Long and Short of It about tall people and short people.
Really?
Yeah. The tall Paul, the guy who plays like next to the hobbits a lot to make them seem shorter. He's in it, and then some of the one of the little people that is the double for the hobbits. They're both trying to like paint something, but they're having a hard time because they can't reach their respective things they need to paint.
Oh, it's like a funny little thing? It's not like a documentary short film?
No, a short film is in like it's 5-ish minutes long, and it's just like a little thing he did on the side.
Gotcha.
So, yes, the long and short of it. All comes full circle. But yeah.
Let's talk size. Welcome to the Beloved Measure Up segment, the official listener's favorite part of the show, the part of the show that's introduced by you. And when we present the animal size and dimensions in relatable terms through a quiz that's fun for the whole family. How was it introduced by you? When you send in audio of yourself saying, singing, or chittering the words measure up into ldtaxonomy@gmail.com. We had an embarrassment of riches last week, but this week we have no new measure up intro. Which means we get to hear from an animal, and Carlos has to guess what it is.
Here we go. Thank you to those who sent in measure ups previously. One person did it out of pity. So they like to satisfy our pleadings.
Yes. And I appreciate it.
Yes.
Without further ado, the listener's favorite part of the show.
Hey, little friend. How are you? How you doing today?
Is that a concerned man? No, is that an A, iguana, B, bull snake, C, soft-shelled sea turtle, or D, Komodo dragon?
I don't think I heard the animal. I think I just heard like crickets or something. Or
The
is that
the sizzling bacon sound was the animal.
Oh. What are the options again?
A, iguana, B, bull snake, C, soft-shelled sea turtle, or D, Komodo dragon?
I'm going to go with the snake, I guess.
Bull snake, final answer.
No, that can't be right. I've never heard an iguana make that sound. And I don't think sea turtles make that sound. So it's either the snake or the Komodo dragon. And I don't think Komodo dragons make that sound. So, yeah, snake, I guess. Snake. Final answer.
That's correct.
Yeah.
You almost lost it there.
Well, I knew it wasn't an iguana. I've grown up around iguanas enough to know they don't make that sound.
They do hiss.
Not like that though. And so Komodo dragons hiss, but not like that.
I was trying to find an iguana, and all of the videos were like too quiet. It's like, here's a video of my iguana hissing. Is it room noise?
You got to get a better mic, Mr. I own an iguana.
Yeah. So let's talk length. They're 40 centimeters. So this is the biggest the biggest specimen they find.
With the right gonads.
So there are tons of different sizes of these things, but if you want to go to the upper end of what we've found, not even average, 40 centimeters, 15 inches.
Okay.
How many sea cucumbers go into the average depth of the shallowest ocean on Earth?
The shallowest ocean on Earth. It's got to be the Indian Ocean, right?
Close.
Must be the Arctic Ocean.
Yes.
I think that's the opposite of close.
Close in size, because I think the Indian Ocean is also quite small. So here's a hint. According to the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, the Arctic Ocean is the smallest and shallowest ocean in the world.
I do not remember the depths of oceans. I did at one point, at least like the Mariana Trench. But that's very deep.
That's your floor. Or your ceiling, depending on how you look at it.
The sea ceiling. I feel like 15,000 feet. So it'd be pretty shallow. 20,000 feet is pretty shallow. So we'll go with 20,000 feet. 240,000 inches divided by 15. 16,000. Final answer.
The correct answer is 14,000.
Oh,
And by that I mean the Arctic has an average depth of 12,000 feet. 3,657 meters. So the correct answer is 14,602.
yeah, okay. It's not a win, but I was close. Ish. I said 20,000 feet, so.
Let's talk weight.
Actually, you said average depth, right? I was thinking max depth. So the max depth could totally be 20,000 feet.
It could be. It certainly could be. Let's talk weight. They're 830 grams or 1.8 pounds. How many brown sea cucumbers go into the James Webb Space Telescope's weight on Earth?
Didn't you just do this? Talk about this telescope?
No, last time I did talk about the telescope. Last
like
time
where?
it was how far away from Earth it
Yeah.
was. But good news, here's a hint. Webb has reached the Lagrange point 2, where it is waiting while it cools down before beginning its operations. Before, when we were talking about it before, it was still in the way. Now it's where it's supposed to be. It's unique among other space telescopes for its ability to see in infrared better than any other telescopes we've sent up, like Hubble. And infrared technology works better in cool temperatures, which is why Webb has a sophisticated sun shield. One of its primary missions is to take deep space pictures. But it also will be able to see dark objects within the solar system, like the theorized Planet X, that may be a gravitational influence on the Kuiper Belt. So in just a few, I think something like 6 months, this thing will cool down and be able to start taking pictures, and we might see beyond what we've ever been able to see before, and we might even find stuff in our own solar system that we've never seen before.
Yeah, I feel like having something that can primarily see things outside of the visible light spectrum would be a lot more helpful than just a regular camera.
I think Hubble can take
Infrared?
infrared pictures. It has that famous. No, I don't know. Maybe it can't. I can't remember. The famous deep space photos it took are the deepest we've ever seen into space. But this one's going to be able to, because of redshift. We talked about it last time. Red is the longest traveling light color
because it's the longest wavelength.
Yeah. So
We talked about that in the reindeer episode. Check it out.
So we can see things in infrared more. More stuff in infrared than we can. That's true even
ultraviolet.
Even in the if you can see more of the light spectrum, you can see more stuff, but especially if you're looking at stuff very far away.
It's cool. I'm excited to see what we
Can see.
see.
Sea cucumber.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go with the number 20,000 again. 20,000 pounds. The weight of this telescope. So the answer is 111,000. Or sorry, 11,000.
Final answer.
Yes.
You're not going to believe this, but the James Webb Space Telescope is 14,000 pounds.
Oh.
14,300.
My goodness.
Or 6,486 kilometers. Or kilograms, rather. That's 7,944.4 cucumbers. Of the ocean variety.
Man. It's not... So, like, yeah, I guess the answer to the last one was 14,000. The answer to this one is 7,000. But still, 20 to 14. I went with my gut. My gut failed me a little bit more that time. But the gut doesn't fail the sea cucumber, which we'll talk about in the major fact when we get to it.
That's true. The gut wants what the gut wants. Let's talk fast facts. Sea cucumbers are often considered ocean cleaners. They typically feed on detritus and then also tiny animals and algae, and leave behind neat little waste packages on the ocean floor. So in a sense, it's a trash compactor. It collects it, it compacts it.
Kind of like Wall-E.
Yeah. Wall-E of the sea. Wall-C. They get around with tube feet, even though they don't have a muscular system. They move their feet with hydraulics. They have a water vascular system that can inflate and deflate appendages to move them. So even species without tube feet can contract their bodies and move on the seafloor like a kind of like a snake, but not at all like a snake. And did you know that these technically have endoskeletons?
Yeah, they're made of some sort of like crystal stuff, right?
Yeah, they sort of have bones. Cucumbers have microscopic ossicles that are...
It's like little bone icicles.
They're embedded just beneath the skin to give their bodies some structure and protection. And did you know that humans have ossicles as well?
Are they embedded just beneath the skin to give us some structure and protection?
No, they're in your ear.
Ah!
The little bones in your ear are called ossicles, but I think they're very different things. But ossicles
I thought
they're
those
just
are cartilage.
a little bone. No, the bones in your ear are bone.
Oh, the inner ear, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Your ear is made of cartilage, but in your inner ear, there's some little bones called ossicles that are like little drumsticks. Many sea cucumbers have respiratory systems that are branched respiratory trees that sap oxygen out of the water, like a gill. But not quite like a gill, because it's also kind of like a lung. But not like a lung. It's just a tree branch.
It's a tree branch lung
Yeah.
gill.
Sea cucumbers are brainless. Say brainless. They're brainless, but they do have some nerve. They do have
nerve of these things.
A simple nervous system. They are highly sought after food sources in East Asia, and fishing all over the world is unsustainable. For that reason, they are listed as endangered on the red list. China's eating the ocean. Want to talk about that?
Yeah, they're eating all kinds of things.
Yeah.
To gain their strength and stuff like that.
Yeah, guess
and
what?
wisdom.
It's thought to have medicinal properties. Is that just something that we throw at anytime China eats anything? We're like, they probably think it. Like, I feel like they think everything has medicinal properties.
It's the deep state. They're just telling them what they want to fuel the black market, the illegal animal trade, which actually benefits the state.
Or is it just like the natural human inclination to assume things have medicinal properties? Like when you're a kid and you're mixing potions in the backyard, and really you're just like putting leaves and dirt and water.
Yeah, I found a flattened frog on the road, and I turned it into paint as a kid.
That's the worst.
I put it into a cup with water and then just kind of shook it up and then splattered it on the walls.
That's inside?
No, outside. Outside of the apartment complex.
Oh, wow. People saw you doing that and thought, like, that kid is, like, keep all
Keep
the
that
sharp
kid away from
objects
my
away
kid.
from away from that kid. Wow.
Hey, listen, when life hands you a splattered frog, you make paint with it. That's all I'm trying to say.
I one time had to shovel a splattered frog off the sidewalk, and the smell was so bad, I felt saturated by it. I would have never made paint out of that.
It was an old dead frog. It had been there
Its
for a
smell
while.
had gone.
It was like a chip. It was like a potato chip of a frog. Toad, I guess, but
But it still
anyway.
had pigment.
Not enough. I didn't really make it. The paint wasn't good. 1 out of 10 do not recommend as a paint source.
That's all I got for fast facts.
I don't even know why we were talking about that. Yeah, I don't remember.
Cause
The medicinal properties of
Yes.
of
Yeah,
animals and eating them, and yeah. Don't do it. Ask your doctor. All right, we're calling this major fact liquid luck. So all echinoderms or echinoderms have something called mutable collagenous tissues, the MCT. And just like the MCU, these things act like the nanobots. Basically, they can do whatever the plot demands. Starfish use these mutable collagenous tissues, the MCT, to detach and regenerate their limbs. So basically, they have their limbs are the skin and tissue around the limb is firm until they decide, I don't want this limb anymore, and they kind of just dissolve the tissue, and the limb falls off. And then they regenerate the limb that had fallen off. Sea fans use it to stiffen and expand, or slacken and retract in order to get better feeding positions when filter feeding. Sand dollars use it to they have teeth. They regrow lost teeth with the MCT. So again, yeah, it's like nanobots. It does whatever the writers need it to. Sea cucumbers use MCTs to eviscerate their bowels. Sounds like they drew the short straw. You could get new teeth, you can regrow limbs, you can get better feeding positions, or you can eviscerate your bowels. Which one of the 4 powers do you choose, Sora, at the beginning of your adventure? So they made the wrong choice, but they're brainless. But they do have some nerve.
They do have some nerve.
And the science behind this is very clear, straightforward, and easy to understand. The European synchrotron sums it up very nicely and concisely, thusly. At the ultrastructural level, MCT consists of spindle-shaped collagen fibrils in an interfibril matrix of protoglycans and non-collagenous proteins like tensilin and sitparin, which, along with fibrillin-rich microfibrils, comprise the extracellular matrix. So I just can't put it any clearer than that.
Sounds legit.
So you get it, right?
Yeah,
Totally get it.
I was totally listening.
Basically, all animals are made up of quite a bit of collagen, which is a protein that makes up our bones, ligaments, and skin. But however, in most things, collagen, like in humans, the collagen takes a long time to change once it has formed. So things like muscles being strengthened or deteriorating, as well as some of the changes that a woman's body goes through during pregnancy. These are due to the gradual changes in collagen. But sea cucumbers can make these changes in literal seconds. So because they can change the matrix structure of their collagen in seconds, this allows them to liquefy their intestines, and then shoot them out of their mouths when they're attacked. So a lot like other animals will, or even the starfish will detach some part of them, or like a lizard will detach some part of them to be like, hey, listen, predator, eat that, so I can, make my very, very fast getaway. The sea cucumber kind of does that, except the getaway is not all that fast. So you can watch videos of this, of like a diver just poking a sea cucumber, and then just this Lovecraftian horror fest comes spewing out of their face holes, and and just like it's tentacles just all over. It's not tentacles; it's their intestines just floating around. And the idea is that if a fish came up to eat them, they would spew all this out, and then the fish would just take some of the intestines and just have a great time with it, while the sea cucumber, slinks away.
That's a win.
It takes a long time.
That's a win with heavy losses.
That is what is it called? A Pyrrhic victory. when you win, but at what cost? It is pretty crazy to look at, and you'll never be the same afterwards. So watch with care.
Watch with great anticipation. Watch the career. What is the line from Star Wars? We're going to pay attention to your career with great interest.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the Palpatine. We will watch your career with great interest. Yeah, you will. But yeah, so basically it's all the lead up to this defense mechanism that they have. They can also use it to change to allow their body to fit into places that they otherwise wouldn't be able to fit into in order to get away from things, because their insides have turned into jelly. Because they've turned them into jelly, and then they can re-stiffen them. So for sometimes they're in the gelatinous state trying to do something, and then a researcher will come and like tap them, and then they'll harden back into their cucumber shape. And they can do this really quickly. So this is all about the ability for them to change their collagen. Which sounds like a sales pitch. But yeah, that is the ability of the sea cucumber. Feels like a short major fact, but
it is. It's so so crazy, but so simple.
That's why I called it a prolapse in judgment.
Oof.
Don't look. Whatever you do. Okay, for you out there, I will do you a big favor and explain what prolapse is so that you don't Google it. It's when organs, particularly things like intestines, slip out from where they're supposed to be and are usually out. They go from being insides to being outsides. This is a very, very, very bad thing to happen to almost everyone except for sea cucumbers. And so don't Google it unless you, and definitely don't click on the image search. Hopefully none of the images just show up on the regular results page. But that's what prolapse means. There, I've spared you. So that's all I got.
That's all I got.
Okay, all right. For you out there in Podcastia, keep an eye out for predators. Get a good score on your MCTs. And always remember to expel your liquid intestines out of your mouth if someone tries to eat you, like the sea cucumber here in Life, Death, and Taxonomy.
Hey Taxonomy Titans, I just want to remind you that we now have a Patreon. Patrons can see full video episodes and get shoutouts on the show. But ultimately, it's a way for you to help us cover some costs and get even better. Still, reviews are the best way to help us grow. So if you haven't left one yet, we'd really love to hear from you. As always, thanks for listening and engaging.
Life, Death, and Taxonomy is my favorite in the world podcast.
It's still not good advice.
If someone tries to eat you, though.
If someone's trying to eat you, call the police.
Yeah, but or chuck your intestines at him. Like, both are good. You can figure it out later.
All you need is enough for like one loop.
The point is you have a lot of intestines. Just take some of it and throw it at the person who's trying to eat you. They want that anyway.